Money. Definition of money. Anything which is widely accepted in payments for goods and services is called money. Functions of money. There are four functions of money. A widely accepted medium of exchange. 2. A reliable measure of value. Any good or service will have an easily recognized market price in terms of money, a means of deferred payments. A good store of value. This function of money is being erased from the economics textbooks because inflation is eroding the purchasing power of money, and in countries like Zimbabwe due to hyperinflation, the value of money is virtually worthless. Characteristics of good money. Acceptability, a generally accepted medium of exchange. Durability, long-lasting. Portability, easily carried. Divisibility, smaller denominations available. Scarcity, this is by far the most important trait of good money because money should be in limited supply. Homogeneity, identical, meaning its units are similar in all respects. Before the introduction of modern forms of money there existed a system known as barter system. This was a common exchange of goods and services, but had a number of problems. It involves a double coincidence of wants. It means, for example, if you need wheat for your house and it is not necessary that the one with the wheat will agree on barter against your camels. It ignores the value of products which money does not. 1 kilo of orange can be bartered for 1 kilo of apples at one time, and other time the value could be a dozen of firewood. Barter goods are indivisible. You can't divide a hen into 10 living pieces. Barter goods are perishable. Living animals can die or food can decay. Convenience is absent. If you are traveling you can travel with all what you have in order for barter. Future payments are difficult to carry on in barter. No predictions can be made for the yield of crops or about other things, as it could be damaged or totally finished due to uncertain circumstances. Types of money. The main forms of money used in most countries are coins, notes and bank accounts. Coins are often used to make small purchases and are given in change. Coins are often used to make small purchases and are given in change. Notes are used to buy more expensive items. It is interesting to note, however, that in most countries the main form of money is bank accounts. These account for the largest proportion, in terms of value, of payments made. There are a number of ways of transferring money from one bank account to another. These include direct debits and checks. Although bank accounts are the most important form of money, they are not legal tender, whereas coins, up to a certain value, and banknotes are. Legal tender is any form of payment which, by law, has to be accepted in settlement of a debt. So, a person has to accept banknotes in payment, but they have the right to refuse, for instance, a check. However, most people and firms find payment from bank accounts convenient and hence are willing to accept it. Legal tender is any form of payment which, by law, has to be accepted in settlement of a debt. To act as money, an item does not need to have intrinsic value. This means that it does not have to be worth something in its own right. For instance, both silver and banknotes can act as money, but whereas silver is wanted for a variety of purposes, banknotes have no intrinsic value. An item has to possess a number of characteristics for it to serve as money. The most important one is that it should be generally acceptable. If people are not prepared to accept the item as payment, it will not be able to carry out the functions of money. To achieve generally acceptability, the item has to be in limited supply. Why, for instance, should people accept twigs as payment in a country with many trees? The other characteristics an item needs are that it is durable, will last some time, portable, can be carried around easily, divisible, can be divided into units of different values, homogeneous. Every note or coin of the same value should be exactly the same, and recognizable. People can easily see that the item is money.
Talk about the answer to this question, let's make sure you know a few things about money. In today's world, money is how people pay for things. Duh. Money can be absolutely anything that does these three functions. The first one is a medium of exchange. Money is anything that people are willing to accept for payments. I'll give you an example. Several years ago, I printed out and gave to my students Clifford money. Take a look. Now, each dollar could be used for a bonus point on the exam. Students in my class started buying things from each other using Clifford dollars. Hey man, I'll buy that soda off you for a Clifford dollar. The point is that money, real money, has value because we're willing to accept it. The second function of money is the idea of a unit of account. So if I told you that car is worth $500, that gives you information. A car that's worth $50,000 is obviously going to be different. So money helps measure the relative value of different goods and different services. The last function is the idea of a store of value. Money allows you to save and store the value of your work and effort. So if you did some work for someone and you got paid in meals, there's no way to actually store that value. But getting paid money allows you to store that value to buy something in the future. What do you think inflation does to store value? Well, it diminishes it. That's why the answer is not C. But wait, there's two more things I want to talk about. It's the difference between fiat money and commodity money. Commodity money, like gold and cigarettes, has some sort of intrinsic value. You can do something else with it. Fiat money, like currency, has no other value. You can't do anything else with it. Okay, there's no country in the world that's still on something called the gold standard. In other words, the amount of money that you have doesn't represent a certain amount of gold that the government owes you. So that means if you take a $20 bill and give it to a government and say, hey, take this, I don't want it, give me something else that's worth $20, they'll give you back a $20 bill. So that's why the answer is B. Commodity money is used less than fiat money today. So I bet you're wondering about the Clifford dollars and what happened with them. In the beginning, I warned the students that sometimes banks go under and the value of the currency just disappears. So some students thought it was a good idea to buy up all these with real dollars. Other students thought maybe the Clifford Bank might fold, so they're like, whatever, I don't really need these anyways. And that was a good way to introduce the idea of currency exchange, appreciation, depreciation in the next unit, Unit 5. By the way, the bank folded.